This is the 13th video in our series looking at how to set up and configure a Google Nest Wi-Fi mesh network. While it can be of great benefit that we're able to set up and configure all of our Google devices from within the same application, there is the potential for the Google Home app to quickly become cluttered with incorrect groupings and mislabeled devices. So in this video, we are going to spend a couple of minutes tidying up our Google Home app. The main reason for doing this is to ensure that when other family members view the application, they will have a good idea of where a specific device is located and what that device actually does. If we open the Google Home app, you can see that our Google devices are grouped together based on locations around our home. However, you may have also noticed that it's not clear which device is our Google Nest Wi-Fi router. This is important as our Google Nest Wi-Fi router controls the whole of our mesh network. So according to the Google Home app, in the entryway we have a Google Wi-Fi router. However, this is not the Google Nest Wi-Fi router, but instead a first generation Google Wi-Fi router that we are using to extend our wireless network. This means that if a family member was experiencing a problem with the internet and we instruct them to restart the router, based off of the Google Home app, they would more than likely try to restart the wrong device. So first, let's change the name of our Google Wi-Fi router. When we select the icon for our Google Wi-Fi router, when the panel opens, we can see an image for a first generation Google Wi-Fi router. If we select the settings icon, we are presented with the device settings panel. Under device name, we're going to change Google Wi-Fi router to Google Wi-Fi point, as this better signifies the purpose of this device. After selecting Save, we can return to the main screen of our Google Home app. Next, if we look in the Family Room group, you can see that we have two icons for devices that have Google Assistant. One is a Google Nest Wi-Fi point, while the other is a Google Nest Mini. While we have physically moved the Google Nest Mini into the kitchen, as you can see, its location has not yet been updated in the Google Home app. So if we select our Google Home Mini and then select settings from within the Family Room speaker panel, with the device settings panel now open, we're going to change two settings. The first setting to change is under Name, where we will simply enter a new name to help us identify our Home Mini. When we select Save, the name is updated. Next, we're going to locate the heading called Room. When we select Room, we can choose from a list of rooms or create a custom room title. For this example, we're going to choose Kitchen and select Save. We can now return to the main screen of the Google Home app. If we scroll through the groupings in the main screen, you can see that our kitchen speaker is now under the kitchen group. We're now going to rename the Google Nest Wi-Fi point in the family room. This is specifically to help us identify that this device is only a Wi-Fi point. If we select Family Room Wi-Fi, and then from within the Family Room Wi-Fi panel we choose Settings, if we now select Name, we can change the name of this device to something that will make it easier to identify as a Wi-Fi point. After selecting Save, we can return to the main screen of the Google Home app. Finally, we need to make our Google Nest Wi-Fi router a lot more identifiable. So as our Nest Wi-Fi router is in the office, we need to locate the office group and select Office Wi-Fi. Once again, from the Office Wi-Fi panel, we need to choose Settings and then change the device name for our Wi-Fi router. When we select Save, we can return to the home screen for the Google Home app. So to summarize, in this video, we simply tidied up the names and groupings for devices in the Google Home app. Our main aim was to make it easier to identify and locate devices that are part of our Google Nest Wi-Fi network. In the next video in this series, we're going to review the advanced network settings that can be found in a Google Nest Wi-Fi network.